What's up, guys, and welcome to the General Nazgrim Fire Mage Guide. As always, in this video I'm going to be covering talents, glyphs, as well as some tips and tricks in order for you to maximize your DPS as a fire mage. Let's get right into the talents on this one. The talents on this one that we want to make sure that we're taking is Cauterize, of course. You can take Greater Invis being a little bit safer of a choice, but Cauterize really giving you that get out of jail free card, especially if you have your ice block off cooldown. However, Greater Invis is very good, especially if you have an assassin on you, if a war song's coming out. Just very, very nice to be able to negate that damage. So keep that in mind. You can go whatever way you want to on that. And the other optional talents are going to be the difference between Temporal Shield and Ice Barrier. On this fight, you will actually be able to use either or. It's completely up to you and your preference. I have obviously Ice Barrier. If you're trying to play it a little bit safer, is going to save you a little bit more than Temporal Shield is. However, you don't get that heal back. But during war songs, if you have a lot of those going out, that Ice Barrier is really, really nice to have. Even if the assassin's on you, if the sniper hits you in heroic mode, you know, whatever it may be, that tends to be a really, really strong spell on this fight. So I tend to lean towards Ice Barrier, but again, you're playing it a little bit safer, and you do have to use that GCD to cast it. As far as bomb goes, we're definitely using Living Bomb in this fight. The reason we're using Living Bomb in this fight is because General Nazgrim summons adds periodically. The problem is there's also a lot of time where he's in defensive stance, and the adds are never grouped up. So when he's in defensive stance, we're not hitting the boss, we're just hitting the adds, and there's only 3 adds, which is perfect for Living Bomb. And because they're spread out, we don't get that extra bonus of Nether Tempest, putting half of its damage onto close targets. So we lose that. So the reason that we want Living Bomb is mainly because it's due to the spread out of the adds and the fact that the boss is only DPSable at certain times, and typically when he's not DPSable, the adds are never stacked. So you're going to actually gain more benefit and more damage out of using Living Bomb and trying to maximize your gameplay with that. As far as glyphs go, Glyph Combustion, as always, that is a must on this fight. After that, you can use armors, you can use Double Blink. Double Blink, I find in this fight, is phenomenal, especially if there's, if there's a Ravager in your way, if you need to get out of the Heroic Leap Ground ability, if you need to run away from an assassin, if you're in the path of something you shouldn't be. Having that extra blink is really, really nice to have. Also armors. I've seen a lot of people take armors on this fight mainly to help out their healers and help out with the damage. A lot of times if you have armors, you don't really need Ice Barrier. You can use armors with Temporal Shield, and that typically will be fine. You should be alright if you do that. But again, your personal preference on those. So the only one that's really, really essential is Combustion. So how do we do this fight? As it starts off, we're opening up with a big Combustion, laying into the boss, and then as soon as the adds come out, we're immediately switching to them, making sure that we're getting our Ignite buffs, our dots up on all the adds, and then pummeling down our adds in the kill order that we have to kill them in, whatever our raid leader says. I will give you this small tip, and this is a bit of a scumbag move, but what you want to understand is about 2.5 minutes into the fight, the boss actually goes into defensive stance, so you don't want to attack him at that point. So what you want to do is, as soon as your Combustion is off cooldown, you want to cast it again and get that onto the boss before he goes into defensive stance. A lot of times there are adds up during this part of the fight, but remember, once he's in defensive stance, you have nothing else to do but kill adds anyway. So unless there's a shaman up, or a totem up that needs to die ASAP, switch back to the boss, make sure you're popping that Combustion on the boss before that defensive stance gets on, so that way you're getting that nice meaty tick on the boss while no one else is getting damage. It's a great way to really get a little bit of extra damage out of the fight and really bring that boss's health down to the maximum potential that you can as a mage. After that, of course, we're switching to the adds, going in the kill order that our raid leader suggests, and then getting back on the boss once he's out of defensive stance. After that, it's completely rinse and repeat. Just remember to watch out for stuff on the ground. Use your blinks to your advantage. You can slow those assassins with Cone of Cold. There's a lot of things that you can do to really maximize your gameplay in this fight. I hope you like this one, and as always, see you in the next one.